Hey guys, this is a tutorial on how to use Mumble. Now, Mumble, as described on its site, is an open source, low latency, high quality voice chat software. So now, what this is going to allow us to do is collaborate and discuss ideas in real time using this software. Occupii Vancouver already has a server set up, so this tutorial is going to take you through how to download Mumble, how to hop on the server, and then how to get your audio dialed so that you can hop right into the conversation and join us. Now, Mumble is open source freeware, which means that it was collaborated on not for profit, but just for the sake of doing the project. All the source code is available to be looked at freely, so you can be sure that there's no viruses in it, and it's also freeware, which means that the product itself is free. You're not going to have to pay anything. So it really is an optimal tool for us to have. Now, all you're going to need to use Mumble is an internet connection and a working microphone if you want to join the dialogue. If you just want to listen in, that's totally fine. That's encouraged as well. You're not going to need a microphone for that, obviously, but if you do want to talk, you're going to need a microphone. So Mumble has actually been used by Occupii.org, that's Occupii.org, and they've been using it to open up dialogues between occupies from all over the world. It's also used by Intercity Occupy when they have their discussions, and it's also used every Sunday for a live streamer roundtable that includes live streamers from all over North America and a bit of Europeans as well. So it's really awesome software, and so it's going to be awesome once everybody is able to use this. And we've also seen our last Occupy Vancouver event, which was Occupy the Forest, a protest of Brookfield and their clear-cutting of the Cortez Forest. Now this was actually also organized on Mumble. It was the first event to be organized on Mumble. It was completely successful. We had a try Occupy in 3 different places simultaneously. So this is really going to revolutionize the way that we're able to communicate and collaborate and be on the same page.
Okay, now the first thing you're going to have to do is actually get the software. So there's a couple of ways to do this, and I will leave a link in the video description to go directly to the website, which is here. But an easy alternative, of course, is just go to Google Mumble. It'll be the first result. The address is mumble.sourceforge.net. So after you've gone here, you can check out what operating system you're running. Now, most of us are going to be using Windows. So what you're going to have to do here is click on that link. So that's 1.2.3a stable. And this will come up. Save the file. You can save it wherever you want. Desktop is, of course, the easiest. And then wait for that to finish downloading. Now, of course, I've already installed Mumble, so I don't have to install this, but I will just kind of take you through the steps. It's dreadfully simple, though. Now, double-click the executable, and just follow the steps. It'll be very easy. Like I said, I already have it installed, so I can't quite show you those steps. But just follow the next button, and it'll install the software for you. And at that point, the thing that you have to do is actually run the program. Now, the program is very lightweight. It doesn't take up barely any space on your computer, nor does it use barely any resources. So just go to Mumble here, and I'm already logged in. I'm going to disconnect. And so basically this is what you're going to be looking at. Now from here you're going to have to hit add new. Now label, type in Occupy Vancouver. The address is ov.mumble.com. The port is 8739. And for username, just type in whatever your name is. So just take a look. So that's the information. I'll also post that in the video description. And then once you've done that, enter, and here it will come up, Occupy Vancouver. So all you have to do at that point is double click and it will take you into the chat room. So here you see I'm the only one in right now, but there's the general room, AFK, general chat, Occupy Education, Occupy UBC. You can drag yourself to whichever one you're looking to communicate in. Right now I'll just stay in the general. So at this point you're going to be in the chat room, in the server. If you're in a room where there's actually people talking, you'll be able to hear them at this point, but you yourself actually have a bit more work to do before you're totally set up. Luckily, the steps are extremely simple. All you want to do is go to Configure, and it'll be slightly different for Macs and Linux, but you should be able to figure it out pretty easily. Then go to Audio Wizard, and so you have a couple options here. You can either kind of race through this if you're in a rush, but I do recommend, you know, kind of taking your time to go through it. Now, sorry about that. Now, this is your input and output device. By default, it should have the correct things picked, but you know, just make sure that you're picking the right thing. Moving on. So basically, all this stuff here is to optimize your microphone so that everybody is kind of speaking at the same volume and the same latency and things of that nature. So you can just follow the instructions. And so this is one of the more important parts. Now there's a couple ways that Mumble will actually try and take your input from your microphone. One is, you know, just raw input. So if it hears some kind of loud noises, it will assume that it's a human voice and then turn your microphone on. Now, of course, this runs into a couple problems. If you're using speakers, what will end up happening is the output from the speakers will get caught in your mic and it will turn the microphone on, and basically what it will do is create a really annoying echo. So there's a couple ways around that. Preferably if everybody uses headphones, it'll be easier, as you'll see when, you know, 5 or 6 people are in a room. It's much better if everybody has headphones in, so you don't get that echoing sound. But another easy way to deal with that is just to activate push to talk. So what this will do is make it so your microphone only turns on when you click a button. Now, a very good neutral button to use that, like for example, you don't want to use your spacebar, because if you're on the internet or on Facebook or whatever and you're typing something, every time you hit the spacebar your mic will turn on. So what you really want to do is use the control button. So just click here, click the control button, and so once you're through with this audio wizard, every time you hit the control button, your mic will turn on. Now I'll just show you what that'll look like. So here, if I hit that control, you can see that mouth becoming red, so that basically means that your mic is activated when it does become red there. And that's basically it. You can look, this is a very awesome function, which is the recording option. So if you, that's why this podcast room 1 is here. If you want to make a podcast with someone where you are just discussing issues or news or something like that, all you have to do is hop in this podcast room with your multiple friends, or just one, and then hit the recording button. Now what this will do is record the conversation you guys are having, and you can see here you can have an uncompressed wave, which is basically a very high quality audio file. So the audio ends up sounding really good, and you know, that's a quick and easy way to create your own media. From that point you can just use Windows Movie Maker, get an image off the internet, put it up, and then put your speech up, your podcast, and there's a podcast right there. And you can contact someone on the Occupy Vancouver media team and we'll get it up on the YouTube channel. So this is really going to allow people to create their own media if they would like to do it. It's also very helpful for meetings. If the media team or someone else has a meeting, or you want to record the conversation so you can refer back to it later. A very helpful option. And everything else you can kind of just play around with. Those are the basics. If you follow all of those things, you will be totally caught up to speed. There's also a chat here, so you can speak to people. This is helpful if you're having difficulties getting your mic set up. You can communicate with everybody. And also it's very helpful for sharing links for everyone. So I think that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, post a comment and we'll get back to you. And in the meantime, come join us in this discussion. Alright, take care guys.